government has approved for appointment of the next kins of the civilians who died in firing incidents in Oting Tiru village area on December 4, 2021 and in Mon town on 5th December 2021. The Nagaland Law Students Federation on Friday issued a press release stating on the need and the importance of a high court in the state. According to the NLSF, it is disheartening that Nagaland Statehood has been functioning under the jurisdiction of the Guwahati High Court. The Tikir Council on Friday organized a Thanksgiving program in Kohima as a sign of gratitude to the government for officially recognizing Tikir as a tribe of Nagaland. Greeting the people of Manipur on the 50th Statehood Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated that the government is committed to make Manipur the sports house of the country. Ahead of the 125th birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose's birth anniversary, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that his statue will be installed at India Gate to honor his contribution to the independence movement. Hello and welcome to Nltv Primetime News. I'm Rinki Gogoi and let's see more of the latest in details. The Nagaland Law Students Federation on Friday issued a press release stating on the need and the importance of high court in the state. According to the Nagaland Law Students Federation, it is disheartening that Nagaland Statehood has been functioning under the jurisdiction of the Guwahati High Court and that it is mandatory to have a legislative, executive and judiciary. The Nagaland Law Students Federation also stated that Nagas have introduced many brilliant minds and legal personnel ascending to the extent of being a judge of the Supreme Court of India, H.K. Sema, and further stated that a separate full-fledged high court is a need of the hour and a state is incomplete without a high court. The government has approved for appointment of the next of the kins of the civilians who were killed in the firing incident on Oting Tiru village area on 4 December 2021 and in Mon town on 5 December 2021. Government of Nagaland on Friday issued notification saying all the appointing authorities concerned are directed to issue the necessary appointment orders to the persons as mentioned in the list and closed at the earliest, under intimation of the office. The Tikir Council on Friday organized a Thanksgiving program in Kohima as a sign of gratitude to the government for officially recognizing Tikir as a tribe of Nagaland. During the program, press of TTC mentioned that Tikir tribe has been asking for the recognition to the government since the year 1982 and that the tribe has been in darkness for a very long period of time. But this, God has finally answered to the prayers, and during their quest for recognition, a lot of rivalries and riots were seen between the two tribes, that is the Tikir and the Yimkim tribe.
Isuri pungjibla. Abanakan laga sugubani isur pungjibla. Ami tangor pisas rakiase. Aro aji Nltv person kan kiman ahikana se abanakan jebi tangor thanks there se. Aje dibi abanakan time tigana hachirabi tigana amakan district tibi ahigana amakan laga security copper do abnakan deal kuri diagani bishi thanks isrobra abnakan Nltv time kambi isrobra long life rachitibi sadigan paigan kumba du pajakan bi ase pajakan bi kobo kumba mon jogom na kuribi amakan teacher gani Kota kuri adu 1982 pra start kuri gana itia tak kota kuri ay gana 19 January di government bra decision kuri disha. Government gibi bishi thanks. Kile Honorable Sim Sir mi video. Tay government loy gana kebena kan sob manu dikher bi hoy Nagaland di indigenous tribe ase koi gana tay kan jani gana amma kan je decision kuri dia declare kuri dia. Government gibi bishi thanks. Tay kan government bi amma kan dikher baja kan sob manu pathala motop kuri bolagi. Long life raki dibi koi gana amma kan dikher baja kan sob manu pathala di motop kuri bo. Aro, Sade Yimchongkan, Amagan Pishi Sal Chakra Kuritaji, Halamiri Taji, Hulebi, Isro Morum Gurigana, Sade Yimchongkan Laga, Mondibi, Isro Jashebla. Ajilaga Kamdidu, why this can be Amakanjabi, Morum Kota Asia. Edu Sir Joshu, Honorable MLA Loigana, why this can Ajidu Amakan. Take milibo parigana. Tay can be olap namishe, Amakan be olap namishe, Namigana milegana. District way declare great dishe, Shamador. Aro Amakan teacher tribe, Sadim Jongan Brabi Hoy. Tay can be declare great dibi wagana. Tay can sign be Kurishade, Motop Kurishade. Sadim Jongan Garnibi, Joshu Loigana. Sadigan Wadisigan, Taigan Gaunibi, Amagan teacher Baja, so Balubra, long life Raki Dibigana.
Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has placed himself under isolation after experiencing COVID-19 symptoms, according to the reports. The CM will take a COVID-19 test. Due to absence of Meghalaya CM, the Statehood Day function in Shillong was inaugurated by Deputy CM Preston Tinsong. Meanwhile, Conrad Sangma joined the program virtually. Notably, the Meghalaya Chief Minister was in Delhi on Friday for a meeting with Amit Shah and Assam CM Hemanta Biswa Sarma. Greeting the people of Manipur on the 58th Statehood Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated that the government is committed to make Manipur the sports house of the country. He paid tribute to the sacrifices and efforts of each and every person who contributed to this glorious journey. He also termed the unity of Manipuris in their face of ups and downs of their history as their true strength. He also stated that the people of Manipur deserves peace and freedom from closures and blockades. Speaking about how the sons and daughters of Manipur have brought laurels in the field of sports, the government is committed to make Manipur the sports powerhouse of the country. He also stated that the thousands of crore rupees worth of connectivity projects are underway in the state, including the Jiribam-Tupul-Impal railway line. A 5.6 magnitude earthquake with epicenter in Myanmar has sent tremors across northeast. Tremors of the earthquake was felt in Guwahati, Assam, Mizoram, Manipur and North Bengal. The epicenter of the earthquake was 58 kilometers southeast of Champai district in Mizoram in the Indo-Myanmar border region. The quake struck at 3:42 p.m. at a depth of 60 kilometers from the surface. No casualties or loss to property have been reported so far. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on Thursday wrote to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi FIR the second time on the proposed amendment to the IAS Rules 1954, insisting that it would create a fear psychosis among officers and impact their performance. Notably, in the letter to the Modi on the issue, Banerjee said the amendment will destroy the federal fabric and basic structure of the constitution. Notably, the union government has proposed an amendment to the rules which would enable it to post IAS officers on central deputation, bypassing reservations of state governments. Earlier, Banerjee had written to Modi on January 13, urging him not to go ahead with the proposal. The Supreme Court on Thursday said that the daughters of male Hindu dying without a will would be entitled to inherit self-acquired and other properties obtained in a partition by the father. The court also said that such daughters would get preference over other collateral members of the family, such as sons and daughters of brothers of the deceased father. The judgment dealt with the property rights of Hindu women and widows under the Hindu Succession Act. The court also dealt with the question of whether such property will devolve onto the daughter upon the death of her father or onto father's brother's son by survivorship in the absence of any other legal heir. In case a female Hindu dies without leaving a will, the court said the property she inherited from her father or mother would go to the heirs of her father, while the property she inherited from her husband or father-in-law would go to the heirs of the husband. Health Ministry on Friday stated in a press release that more than 12.7 crore balance and unutilized COVID-19 vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. Over 159.91 crores vaccine doses have been provided to the states and union territories through the Government of India free of cost channel and the direct state procurement category. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the central government has been supporting the states and union territories by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare on Friday stated that India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage has exceeded 160.43 crores after over 70 lakh vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. PM Narendra Modi is all set to unveil the world's second-largest statue in Hyderabad on February 5. The 216-foot-tall statue of 11th century social performer and Saint Ramanujacharya will be in a sitting position. According to officials, it will be located at 45-acre complex area on the outskirts of Hyderabad. Notably, the project is worth rupees 1,000 crores and is funded by donations from global devotees, whereby its foundation stone was laid in 2014. Furthermore, President Ramnath Kovind will unveil the inner chamber's golden statue of Ramanuja on February 13. The eternal flame of Amar Jawan Jyoti at India Gate has now been merged with the National War Memorial's torch on Friday. The merger was accompanied by a military ceremony in the national capital. Notably, the ceremony began at 3:30 p.m. and was presided over by the Integrated Defense Staff Chief Air Marshal Balabhadra Radhakrishna, who carried out the significant move of merging the two flames. It is to be mentioned that the Amar Jawan Jyoti was lit under the India Gate Arch to honor the 3,843 soldiers who died liberating Bangladesh in the 1971 war with Pakistan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday greeted the people of Manipur, Meghalaya and Tripura on their statehood day and praised them for their vibrant contributions to the country's development. Notably, the three states were formed on this day 50 years back in 1972 with the enactment of Northeastern Areas Reorganization Act 1971. The Prime Minister, while taking down to Twitter, said that the state of Meghalaya is now known for its remarkable kindness and spirit of brotherhood, and that the youngsters from Meghalaya are creative and enterprising. Meanwhile, wishing the people of Manipur, he said that India is proud of Manipur's contribution to the national development and that it is a powerhouse of the innovation and sporting talent. On the other hand, while wishing the people of Tripura, he said that culture and warm-hearted nature of the people of Tripura is admired across India and that the state has achieved outstanding progress in various fields.
एक राज्य के रूप में आज जिस मुकाम पर पहुंचा है, उसके लिए बहुत लोगों ने अपना तप और त्याग किया है। ऐसे हर व्यक्ति को मैं आदरपूर्वक नमन करता हूं। मणिपुर ने बीते 50 सालों में बहुत उतार चढ़ाव देखे हैं। हर तरह के समय को सभी मणिपुर वासियों ने एकजुटता जरिया जिया है। रोड ही था। मानसून में जब लैंडस्लाइड से रोड बंद हो जाते थे, त्रिपुरा सहित पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जरूरी सामान की कितनी कमी हो जाती थी। आज रोड के साथ साथ रेल, हवाई, इनलैंड वाटरवे जैसे अनेक माध्यम त्रिपुरा को मिल रहे हैं। राज्य बनने के अनेक सालों तक त्रिपुरा बांग्लादेश कि चिटगांव पोर्ट के लिए एक्सेस की डिमांड कर रहा था। डबल इंजन की सरकार ने इस डिमांड को पूरा किया जब 2020 में अखौरा इंटीग्रेटेड चेक पोस्ट पर बांग्लादेश से पहला ट्रांजिट कार्गो पहुंचा। रेल कनेक्टिविटी के मामले में त्रिपुरा देश के अग्रणी राज्यों में शामिल हो रहा है। कुछ दिन पहले महाराजा वीर विक्रम एयरपोर्ट का भी विस्तार किया गया है। साथियों, आज एक तरफ त्रिपुरा गरीबों को पक्के घर देने में प्रशंसनीय काम कर रहा है, तो दूसरी तरफ नई टेक्नोलॉजी को भी तेजी से अपना रहा है। हाउसिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन में नई टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग देश के जिन 6 राज्यों में हो रहा है, उनमें त्रिपुरा भी एक है। 50 साल पहले जिन्होंने मेघालय के स्टेटहुड के लिए आवाज उठाई, उनमें से कुछ महान विभूतियां इस समारोह में मौजूद है। उनको भी मेरा प्रणाम। साथियों, मुझे अनेक बार मेघालय आने का सौभाग्य मिला है। जब आपने मुझे पहली बार प्रधानमंत्री के तौर पर सेवा का अवसर दिया, तब मैं शिलोंग में नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न काउंसिल मीट में हिस्सा लेने आया था। 3-4 दशक के अंतराल के बाद एक प्रधानमंत्री का इस आयोजन में हिस्सा लेना, शिलोंग पहुंचना मेरे लिए अविस्मरणीय अनुभव था। मुझे खुशी है कि पिछले 50 साल में मेघालय के लोगों ने प्रकृति के पास होने की अपनी पहचान को मजबूत किया है। सुरीले झरनों को देखने के लिए, स्वच्छ और शांत वातावरण अनुभव करने के लिए, आपकी अनूठी परंपरा से जुड़ने के लिए देश दुनिया के लिए मेघालय आकर्षक।
LG Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal on Friday rejected Delhi government's proposal to lift weekend COVID-19 curfew in the national capital and ease restrictions. However, he allowed private offices to reopen with 50% capacity. Baijal said that the restrictions in Delhi needed to remain in place till COVID-19 cases reduce and the situation improves. The Delhi government on Friday recommended lifting of weekend curfews ordered from 10 p.m. Fridays to 5 p.m. Mondays in the national capital in view of declining COVID-19 cases. The file was forwarded to the office of Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal for his approval. However, shops and commercial establishments which were allowed to operate on the odd-even basis to limit crowds in public spaces can now open on all days. Nagaland TV on Friday visited Dilai Gate and Dimapur railway station to take a report on the COVID testing procedures. While visiting Dilai Gate, we inquired about the procedures were being taken in regards to the COVID testing. On being asked, we were informed that 2 shifts were scheduled, one in the morning shift which started from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. and the other shift which started from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. It was learned that one person from Dilai Gate tested positive while being tested. Furthermore, the team also visited Dimapur railway station. However, the medical team there refused to speak in front of the camera. We have more on this. Let's have a look.
देखी पाइसे ताते दिलाई के टीवी चेकिंग गन किन्ने चुले से तो देवी मेहन रेलवे स्टेशन दे दिया इना से तो मेहन साइज वो थाना चेकिंग तो किन्ने किन्ने चुले से तो मेहन इधर दिखे बानिश ना इधर ट्रेन इधर ओलो बागे देखता इना पैसेंजर गन उलाई ना दिखी से तो एक दो दुई देखला उलाई लिवी ताका दितु ये दे मेडिकल टीम गन इनफ ना था किना खाली एक तारा चेक करना इधर कुनवा तो रुखाई दी बोले पार्शा और हुत्या हुत्ती ग्राम दे साइड पर भी मानो भी उलाई जाए ना दिखी पाइसे अब निकान तो इधुला इधर तो गोल मुंजा तो इधु मैन पावर तो इनफ नहा निमिते इन्या हुईना इते भी कोविड ला टेस्ट kan तो ठीक तक न हुईना जैसे अब निकान भी दिखी पासे और अब निकान दिखी पान छिना इते तो मेडिकल टीम भी कुन भी ना इते तो खाली हुई जाए ना दिखसे और एक ता मेडिकल टीम नोते हुती गुरा दो ताकन कैमरा दो ऑन कैमरा दो आए बोले ना पारे हुली भी ताकन इन्या कुछ की इते ताकन कुनवा तो खोर्डूर हानि मिदे चुलती जाए जैसे कोई नबी कोई पासे हुली भी I think इतो तो ताकन शिफ्ट हिसाब last time मान हुनी बात तो ताकन शिफ्ट हिसाब प्रकोता करे कुछ तो next shift को नहीं होला से तो इते तक पे आना है तो ट्रेन भी आई ना इन्या मानु के रुखावले ना पारी ना इन्या पैसेंजर कुनवा तो ओलाई जैसे without testing तो हमें इते कोल मुंजा तो I think more security forces are more manpower kan aida hinna in every medical booths set up kurna thaga kan da hinna inya rakhina checking kure segula seriously luina.
Ahead of the 125th birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that his statue will be installed at the India Gate to honor his contribution to the independence movement. Until the installation is completed, a hologram of Netaji will be projected at the side of the statue. Prime Minister stated that the hologram will be unveiled by him on the 23rd of January. Prime Minister on his Twitter handles tweeted that this would be a symbol of India's indebtedness to him. The statue will be installed under the grand canopy near which the Amar Jawan Jyoti flickers in remembrance of India's martyrs, and the eternal flame, which has not been extinguished for 50 years, will be put off on Friday. The International Cricket Council has announced the schedule for the upcoming 2022 edition of the T20 World Cup to be played in Australia later this year. The T20 event is slated to begin on October 16 and will conclude on November 12. A total of 16 teams will play the tournament, with 12 of them qualifying for the Super 12 stages. As of now, Australia, Afghanistan, England and New Zealand are slotted together in Group 1, while India, South Africa, Pakistan and Bangladesh are slotted in Group 2. Furthermore, the Super 12 stages will begin on 22nd October 2022 and from 16 October to 21st October 2022. The qualifying matches will be held, which will determine the 4 teams that will join the 8 other teams that have already qualified for the event. Notably, India will first play their first match against Pakistan on October 23 in Melbourne, while on October 27 they are slated to play against one of the qualifiers in Sydney. Furthermore, on October 30, India will play versus South Africa in Perth, and on November 2 and versus Bangladesh in Adelaide. While on November 6, India will play with their first league match against the second qualifying team from preliminary rounds in Melbourne. The Arunachal Pradesh Congress Committee has asked the central government to immediately come out with a proper mechanism to end the repeated abduction of youth by the Chinese army from the international borders of the country, especially from Arunachal Pradesh. APCC President Bosiram Siram on Thursday stated that China has always been a threat to India, especially to Arunachal Pradesh, and also stated that a BJP-led government at the center should stop giving verbal assurances and adopt a practical approach when it comes to ensuring the safety, security and territorial integrity of Arunachal Pradesh. Reacting to the alleged abduction of an Arunachal youth by the Chinese People's Liberation Army from Upper Siang district, Siram said that the government should immediately act on the matter and ensure the safe return of the boy. Chief Minister Pema Khandu stated that the state government is aware of the incident and the Ministry of External Affairs has already initiated diplomatic talks to bring the youth back home. The U.S. Air Force has awarded SpaceX a $102 million 5-year contract to demonstrate the technologies and capabilities to transport military cargo and humanitarian aid around the world on a heavy rocket. The contract falls under the Air Force Research Laboratory's Rocket Cargo Program. The contract is not specific to any of SpaceX launches vehicles. According to a U.S. government website, System for Award Management, the contract is part of the Air Force Rocket Cargo Program, which will involve including the use of big commercial rockets for Department of Defense Global Logistics. The website says that the contract was awarded on Friday but wasn't made public until Tuesday. At least 17 people were killed in a blast in western Ghana on Thursday after a motorcycle collided with a vehicle carrying explosives. According to Municipal Chief Executive for the Prestia Honey Valley Municipal Assembly, an additional 59 people were injured in the explosion. The blast appeared to have completely leveled Apiat, a small town in western Ghana. According to workers in the area, nearly every building collapsed in the explosion, trapping people and animals under rubble. Police reported that most of the victims have been rescued and admitted to various hospitals and clinics. However, no details on their conditions were available. fifth time in 42 years, Sahara Desert was covered with snow during an interesting natural phenomenon encountered in Sahara Desert. As temperatures dropped below zero across the dunes of the Sahara Desert, produced magnificent hypnotic patterns. After an unexpected sprinkle of snowfall in the region, the ice formed lovely patterns in the sand. According to reports, the snowfall occurred for the fifth time in 42 years, with prior occurrences in 1979, 2016, 2018, and 2021. The Sahara Desert covers most of northern Africa and has experienced temperature and moisture shifts over the last few 100,000 years. Although the Sahara is currently very dry, it is expected to revert to green in about 15,000 years. Thank you, viewers. That's all for Nltv Primetime News. For more updates, keep streaming Nltv. Sab Manulagawas.